You can't look ahead to all the new opportunities without looking back in time. This is actually Missoula's third airport. There was a landing strip built near the University of Montana back in 1923. And as I learned, that started a whole new era of aviation for the Garden City. Hello, I'm Jill Valley, and thank you for joining me in downtown Missoula on this Indigenous Peoples Day. And what a day it has been. You can probably hear the powwow going on at Caras Park right now. That's going to be happening until 6 o'clock. It's been a celebration, a time of remembrance, and so much more as the tribes and the city and the county rededicate what was the Higgins Avenue Bridge to the Bear Tracks Bridge. Earlier today, I had a conversation with Joe McDonald. Now, he's a tribal elder and was president of CSKT, and he told me a story that the night before the tribes crossed that bridge, they camped at what is now 3rd and Higgins, and that's actually where that ceremony was held today. They got as far as Evero Hill, and that's where they camped at the base of. But then Joe tells me Chief Charlo told his tribal members to put on their finest regalia and put on a smile and complete their journey walking into a land they knew nothing about, but to show their pride and to show they were not scared. He told me most of them were just praying the whole time as they were going someplace that they knew nothing about. As the powwow continues in front of me, I know you can hear it. I was asking some people that I know who are tribal members if today was a happy day. They actually paused and said, you know, it's really more a bittersweet, considering the history that had to happen for this day to occur.
The MTN 530 News.
Good evening, I'm Jill Valley. Thank you for joining us. We've been talking for weeks now about the number of bear sightings across the Missoula Valley. They seem to be a constant on the UM campus. Just yesterday, we even told you how they're getting into the garbage behind Bernice's Bakery on Missoula's Hip Strip. So today I was out in East Missoula just getting some video of a fishing access site. Actually, at the time, I was getting video of ducks in the river when suddenly this bear appears from the bushes across from me, a big old black bear. Now, I had to edit out some of the shaky video for you because I was so shocked to see him, and honestly, it was pretty exciting. The water where he was fairly shallow, so he was sort of walking and swimming along the Clark Fork River bottom. Those nearby ducks I mentioned didn't seem to mind he was there at all, or maybe her, I'm not sure. Maybe he was looking for fish, unclear. But the bear did make it across the river. He got into some deeper water, seemed to be navigating some of the current near the rocks by the shore, and then he made it up and out and shook himself off, which was really neat to see. And then eventually he wandered down the river's edge toward town, away from me. We know school is important, and that's why today I'm in the classroom too, showing you everything from back to school shopping to COVID protocols. But of course, we cannot talk about the start of the school year without talking about safety, especially when we hear of violence happening at schools in other states. In fact, MCPS leaders tell me throughout the year they continue to find the best protocols and even equipment to keep students safe. Before we go tonight, I wanted to express my sincerest thanks for all of your love, support, and words of encouragement after the death of my husband last week. This has been a pretty overwhelming time, but I want you to know that your words and calls and messages have comforted my daughter and me, along with all those flowers and the food and words of advice from those of you who have gone through this journey yourself. My KPAX family deserves all the love for holding me up during this time, and I also like to thank my fellow media members in Missoula for reaching out. This is a reason I made this community my home, and having this kind of support during the worst time of my life proves I picked the right place. And with that, I will see you tomorrow. And now on the most awkward Olympic event you'll ever see, me, what is that? Cross-country skiing for the first time in 30 years.
Jill!
I'm so awkward and every muscle in my body is killing me right now. This is up at Lubrecht, but it was yesterday and it was gorgeous. I'm going into a tuck.
Look at that. Look.
Lightning speed down the trail. Yeah.
Jill, I can't believe this is 30 years. You look like a professional out there.
At one point it was so steep I just took off the dang skis and hiked up myself. Like, forget this, I'm just going up. But it was so great to be out, and there were so many people there, and the dogs got to go.
Right. And what about that weather, Jill? I saw the sunshine.
Perfect. Yeah, it was great. China-based companies are buying American land, for example, 300 acres in North Dakota, which is actually located near a military base. I believe they want to build a milling plant. Now, some say that's great. Others do feel, though, that this is a threat to national security and could cause some problems in our food supply. What is your position on that?
I absolutely agree that we got to prevent China, from buying our farmland.
In the most high stakes of games, the players know there's one thing working against them, and that's time. But for years, Montana's high school basketball players could take all the time they needed. That is until this season. A major change came to one of the Treasure State's most treasured games. It's the shot clock. Now athletes have 35 seconds to make the play, take the shot, or lose the ball. The dynamic has already changed for Montana's favorite winter sport, from the pace to the technique, but we'll let MTN's Carter Culver explain. He joins us just in time. It was a special day for us at KPAX as we got to celebrate reading with St. Ignatius Elementary School. I got to sit down with this great group of first graders to read them a story. They were such good listeners and had many great questions and comments at the end. But the best part, each child got to pick 2 brand new books of their very own to take home with them. It's part of our parent company, EW Scripps, If You Give a Child a Book campaign, where we spread the love of reading. And this year, we were able to give each child in grades K through 8 in St. Ignatius 2 books of their own. And some couldn't wait to just sit down and start reading. This year, Scripps gave out its millionth book. This childhood literacy program is an annual event by the Scripps Howard Foundation and funded by Scripps employees. Putting a book in a child's hand and encouraging a love of reading helps their academic achievement, no matter their income level.
We love our books!
Danny Hallow's joining us now. Look at us, solid colors, looking
We're
powerful.
ready.
Got some snow in the high country, though. That's good for skiers.
Yes, good for skiers, snowboarders. And for a snowpack too.
Yes.
So we got a little bit up there. It looks like we're going to get a break from it. Maybe more coming this weekend. I got all the details for you right now.
It's time for a KPAX Missoula Marathon training tip.
I'm Jill Valley, and I'm here with Missoula Marathon race director Tricia Droback. We talked a lot about what to do, but what should you not do on race weekend?
For sure. You want to not be on your feet all day on Saturday. Give yourself some rest. You want to set probably 3 alarms, not just 1, so that you wake up in time. It's a very early morning. And do not be on the last bus. You don't want to be late, and you want to hit that so important porta pot before you hit the streets.
Great advice. For more training tips and to learn more about the marathon, it's kpax.com. Should you look for in a human trafficking victim? Here are some of the basics. They have no personal possessions with them. Now, this could be a minor with an unrelated or non-age appropriate looking male or an over-controlling boyfriend. Sometimes they could be with another woman, because women can also recruit other females to become part of this industry too. If you see a minor at a hotel, a strip club, or a truck stop and it looks like they shouldn't be there, pay attention. Or if somebody looks like they haven't slept in days or had proper nutrition in a long, long time, that could also be a sign, along with unexplained injuries. Now, don't forget, you can help stop human trafficking. If you feel it's an emergency, obviously call 911. For a non-emergency situation, you can also call this number, 1-833-406-STOP. You're going to be able to find all of this information on our website as well. I noticed she didn't have any earbuds in, or she didn't listen to any music, and I thought, gosh, if I was going to run that long, I would want to listen to something. But she actually said it was distracting, and in some of the main races, they're not even allowed. So that's why you see a lot of the elite runners. I mean, they don't listen to music, or I would listen to AC/DC.
Oh, to get you pumped.
to get you pumped, but I think they've got their own mental checklist and listening to their bodies and knowing exactly the pace they need to go. Even if a victim survives that initial attack, they could go on later to have a stroke or have other permanent injuries. As one ER doctor told me, our necks are considered high-value real estate on our bodies, and it doesn't take that much pressure to kill. Maris is embarking on a tour in the U.S. and Canada in early spring. She is opening for Anna of the North.
Well, Jill, this is just so fun for her friends and family. They have to be so happy to watch her succeed.
Well, I'm one of her fans too, so early on I got one of her t-shirts, so I have some Maris swag. So I hope when she wins her first Grammy, she'll come back and autograph this for me.
That would be so fun.